Being a good girl has its cost. And this relentless pursuit of perfection doesn't just exhaust you, it drains your soul. Let's be honest. It leaves you burnout, anxious, disconnected from person who you were or who you meant to be, right? And one day you wake up and you feel the weight of all of it, asking yourself, whose life am I living? You've given so much to others that you've lost sight of you. Welcome back, or simply welcome to Brilliance Unleashed, where we dive deep into transformational journey that refine our lives. Today, we're gonna talk about good girl persona, a script that many women find themselves acting out, often at the cost of their own identity. So, are you ready to shed those constraints and embrace your true, powerful self? Well, let's get started. My name is Anna, and I'm a founder of Energy Coaching. And welcome to Brilliance Unleashed. And I wanted to tell you a story about someone I worked with, a woman who could have been any of us. She was raised to be a good girl from the very start, the one who always followed the rules, the one that colored within the lines and never ever raised the voice. As a child, she was taught to be polite and accommodating. When relatives wanted to hug or kisses she didn't like, she was told to smile and let them. She was the wise older sister, the captain of her sport teams, and dependable one. At school, she was the star pupil, the perfect combination of brains, kindness, and quiet strength. But there was a cost to that. She was never allowed to express anger, to scream, or to say no. She was taught to prioritize everyone else's comfort over her own. This pattern followed her into adulthood. At work, she was the employee everyone could count on, always striving for perfection, always taking on one more, and never feeling like she was enough. She kept going. And when she was drowning, because that was what she thought strong women did, she smiled through her struggles, pushed harder when she felt doubt, and stayed silent when she hadn't spoken. In relationships, she gave more than she received. She was one of those who always show up, always listened, always cared, and sometimes to the detriment of her well-being. And she felt guilty for resting. So she filled every moment with work, certifications, courses, accomplishment, hoping one day she would finally, she earned her worth. But deep down, she was exhausted. She felt invisible, unheard, trapped in a life that wasn't even hers, defined by what she did, not who she was. So together, we peeled back the layers of expectations, perfectionism, guilt, and she learned to embrace her true self, her your girl instead of good girl. She discovered her voice, her boundaries, and her right to rest, ask for help, and to live unapologetically. And today, she's not surviving, she's thriving. She's free, confident, and alive. And the transformation, well, it's not just her story. It can be yours too. I'm telling that story with so much emotions in me because the good girl I describe was me. The good girl I've been raised to be within the frame, raised by another good girl. I'm no longer a good girl. I'm my girl. And you can be too. But if that story resonated at some levels with you, Welcome. Welcome, good girl. And let's change that. Because who is the good girl? What are the kind of key signs of being a good girl? It is this perfectionism, right? That feeling like nothing you do is never enough. It is that fear of saying no. So agreeing to things out of guilt, of fear, of disappointing others. It is that over apologizing, saying sorry for things that aren't even your fault. So if you hear yourself like, I'm sorry, can I say this? I'm sorry, can you do this? Well, that's over apologizing, good girl. Then suppressed emotions, staying silent to avoid conflict or judgment, not to disappoint anyone. People pleasing, so putting everyone else's needs above your own, then taking responsibilities for others' actions, for others' feelings. Feel embarrassed by others' actions, by others' decisions, giving more than taking, pushing through when you don't feel at your best, staying strong longer than necessary. And what is the impact? Being a good girl has its cost. And this relentless pursuit of perfection doesn't just exhaust you, it drains your soul. Let's be honest. It leaves you burnout, anxious, disconnected from person who you were or who you were meant to be, right? And one day you wake up and you feel the weight of all of it, asking yourself, whose life am I living? You've given so much to others that you've lost sight of you. That if somebody is asking what makes you happy, you don't even know what to answer because you've never pursued that. Because you've been liking or you've been enjoying what other people are enjoying, and you never ask yourself what is that for you. But as I said before, there's a way of getting out of the box of good girl. It is a way of shattering all that BS or just simply that bullshit that was just not yours. And it's time to transition from that good girl to your girl, a woman who honors needs, sets firm boundaries, and engages with the world on her own terms. It doesn't just this doesn't just mean speaking up. It means truly listening to your inner voice and acting on it without guilt. Because being your girl means breaking free from the need of that external validation and embracing your authentic self. This is where you start making choices that resonate deeply with your values, not because they are expected of you, but because they are truly yours and they are true to who you are. And let me give you the framework, how to break it free from it, from the good girl and becoming your girl. And let me be just clear, as I always say it to my clients. It's a process. It's a process not overnight, but over time. So don't you worry. You can be your girl, but it takes time, takes a commitment. And for sure, there will be plenty. It's going to be a plenty of people who are not going to be happy that you are no longer a good girl. But let's just dive into the framework. And the framework is who you are. First one is awareness. So the first step is recognizing the patterns and beliefs keeping you stuck in the good girl mold. So I want you to reflect on the rules you've been living by and ask yourself very simple question. Who set these rules and do they still serve me? So I really wanted for you to be aware, right? What are the patterns? Where do you see those patterns? Where do you see them coming from? And ask you simple question. Who set those rules? If they are not yours, they need to go. Then reclaiming. So start reclaiming your power by practicing small acts of rebellions against those outdated rules. So once you know those rules, so now let's just reclaim your space and be rebellious against them. So your daily affirmation could be, I am enough exactly as I am. I want to be my girl. I am powerful to say no. Think about those outdated rules and what you need to rebel upon. So then you can start creating your own daily affirmations. And then empower. Finally, make a bold moves to live authentically and in alignment with your values. So you need to figure it out where you're identify or rediscover or discover your core values and ensure your choices reflect them. So what is important for you truly? And even if it's far away from what the good girl does, that's okay. It's your time to shine. It's your time to reclaim. It's time to empower yourself. Identify those values and make sure that your choice is reflecting them. And then visualize your girl. What does it mean to get out of that good girl persona and skin and picture yourself living as your girl? How does she feel? What does her life look like? What kind of choices she's making? Start to simply visualizing. And in order to help you with that, in the section under the podcast, you will find the visualization that can help you to do that. I'm thrilled to record it for you because that's very powerful. And some of my clients already did it, listen to that, and there is a huge impact on them. I know we've covered a lot today about shedding outdated roles and stepping into your power. And I want you to remember that the journey from the good girl to your girl isn't just about changing behaviors. It's about transforming how you see and value yourself. And nobody else is going to do that for you. This is your role. This is your job. And this is the powerful choice you can make. And if you're listening to it, that means that you're already on the path, on the journey. And I can tell you, as a former good girl, it is possible. But it requires time and it requires self-love. It requires commitment to yourself to truly get out of that. Just leave that good girl like a, you can take it off as a coat and hang out in the hallway. Being your girl is amazing feeling, and I want you to do that. And I want you to start doing it. I want you to see what kind of beliefs are not yours, what is in your software outdated, and just update for who you want to be and how you want to live. And I can ensure you there will be resistance from the outside, from the people that you love and people that love you. But don't let it stop you. If they truly love you, they will go on that journey with you. If not, that might be a sign that something needs to change in those relationships. So, my girl, I'm here to help you if you are ready, because I do have some tools, I do have some strategies to help you get out of that good girl and going into that your girl zone. And if that's inspire you to explore it further, I encourage you to join the masterclass, and you also can find the link there and sign up. It's designed to help you to delve deeper into this concept and truly begin living as your girl. And check the visualization. And if that's not enough, if you feel that you need more, let's have a conversation one on one. Let's dive into it and let's ignite that change. I believe in you. Absolutely, I do. So you have a one cheerleader in your corner. I can tell you that being your girl is so powerful. It is freeing. It is amazing. And I want you to join me on that side of the girl zone. And thank you today for joining me on Brilliance Unleashed. And remember, you have the power to redefine your life and embrace your true self. Subscribe for more episodes where we tackle the tough topics and guide you toward personal freedom. Well, until next time, keep embracing your authenticity.